Attention, everyone. I would like to make a very special announcement. PARRISH have placed my name in the hat for this year's NBA draft. That is all. I'm not taking any questions. Welcome to another spectacular edition of Mavs Insider. This one is very special to me because just like you saw earlier, I've placed my name in the hat for the NBA draft, and I'm dead serious. It's not a joke, playing no games. In fact, I have representation. I would like to bring my agent in, Mr. Haltom.
My client is going #1, believe me.
And what are we going to tell these teams to do?
Cut that check.
Playing no games. I'm ready to spend that cash and spend it fast. But before we go there, let's go to Dirk because he hang out with a kid and he's making the kid really happy. Rick Renner, tell us all about it.
Last season, Dirk Nowitzki and the Mavs partnered up with AT&T in its It Can Wait program, urging teenagers not to text and drive. AT&T visited 10 high schools across the Metroplex, getting thoughts from students on why texting while driving is wrong. The best response would get a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to play one-on-one against Dirk. Sean Breland of Duncanville High School won the contest.
Basically, I was talking about how selfish texting and driving is because, like, not only are you endangering yourself, but you're endangering the people around you, and it's really selfish and you, like, really shouldn't do that.
Breland and Dirk see eye to eye on texting and driving, but not just because they think it's the wrong thing to do. Breland stands 6'9". And as a junior, Breland is already on the radar of several major universities. Recruiters from as far away as Stanford have shown interest.
Sean's a big boy, and he wanted to see a couple moves. I think he's got a skinny body, so I think he's more than a face-up player than like me.
Nowitzki, who was famously tutored himself from a very young age, demonstrated footwork on the block, showed the youngster a new grip to try out on those jump shots, and most importantly, gave him some pointers on free throws.
It was amazing. Like, he's been my hero since I was like 6 or so. And I've like always looked up to him, always admired how he played and whatnot, so it was pretty fun.
Dirk also ran through some ball handling drills that the center wasn't used to. The key, of course, letting Sean know that no matter how tall he ends up being, he must have a well-rounded game. After all, this is Dirk doing the teaching.
But he's got a nice little touch, and he's tall, he can move, and got good hands. So, yeah, hopefully we'll see him in the league in a couple years. That'll be sweet.
May 16th will be a day Sean Breland will not soon forget. But you can bet that when it comes to thanking the big German, it will not be by text. For Mavs Insider, I'm Rick Renner.
With the first pick in the 2013 NBA Draft, the Cleveland Cavaliers select Anthony Bennett.
What? How did I not get selected first? I thought you said I was going. What's going on?
You are.
I mean, what did I do wrong?
It's probably the hair. I told you the hair, bro. I told you.
I don't know what I was thinking. You know, I didn't want to go to Cleveland anyway.
Hey, who cares about Cleveland? Look, phone's ringing right now.
That's
Don't you
right,
worry.
that's right.
Don't you worry.
Check this out. So make sure you stick around because I know I'm going top 5. Because when we come back, you're going to see where I go. Oh, and you're also going to see what the Mavs dig in West Texas.
#1, baby.
West Texas, that's where we're going. And I'm going in the top 5. Stick around. Mavs Insider. The event that took place in West Texas last spring was horrific. It destroyed families, tore apart homes. But it could not destroy the will of the people in West Texas. Dana Larson has more.
West Strong is what it says on the t-shirts, but strong doesn't even begin to describe the nearly 3,000 people who call this town home. There's Cynthia Urbanovsky, a retired nurse who, upon hearing about the blast, drove into town to set up a triage station at the community center.
And to see, I mean, it was daylight at my house at the farm. It was total darkness here. The smoke, curtains flying out the windows, windows left, cars blown to pieces. It just looked like a war zone.
There's Mayor Pro Tem Steve Vonick, a member of the City Council and just one of the hundreds of ordinary citizens that became heroes that night.
We went directly, when the blast happened, to digging people out of houses and stuff. And it was really hard because all this sheetrock came down off the ceilings and it was kind of covered some of the people up, so you had to holler and scream and dig and look for people. And it was really just a madhouse.
And there's paramedic Rick Coleman, who was administering a test to a group of EMT students when the blast occurred. Real life, delivering a lesson no classroom could ever simulate.
We were taking a test and I had told the kids to keep their pagers off during the test. And one of the guys had his pager on, Cyrus Reed, and he heard tones go out for a fire and said, "I think we got a fire." So we stopped class and we went out, and flames were probably 150, 200 feet in the air. And at that moment, the firemen in the EMT class went to their fire positions. I sent students out to the apartments, and one of the students was my daughter. And I went back in the ambulance station to make sure it was all cleared out, and that's when it blew. The ambulance station collapsed on me, and the apartments collapsed on 6 of my students and my daughter. So it took me about 15, 20 minutes to kick my way out of the building. I came out, and one of my students appeared to be unconscious right there on the ground at the doorway, and about 6 or 7 other students were walking back from the apartments just limping. It actually reminded me of a zombie movie where they're just coming real slow trying to eat you. They're just limping, bleeding, carrying each other back. So we scrambled together, looked everybody over, and said we got to start a triage. So we started a triage right there in front of the building, gathering people as they're walking up, busted skulls and things that are open and, just trauma. At that point, my daughter went to the assisted living building behind us because she heard them screaming for help. She pulled out about 11 more.
Last month, the Dallas Mavericks descended upon West to spread some cheer, to provide support and raise awareness for a community still licking its wounds.
Whenever it exploded, it affected my grandma's house, our house, my aunt and uncle's, and my great-grandma's house. So all those have to be destroyed, and it's just really changed our lives and realize we gotta be thankful for what we have.
These kids have had to deal with a whole bunch of stuff in 2 months. And to come here and not have to worry about that and have fun, smile, and visit with these guys and have a good day outside and enjoy this basketball game and take their mind off their problems for just a little while helps immensely.
Maverick legend Rolando Blackman, the Mavs dancers and maniacs, Hall of Famer Nancy Lieberman, and head coach Rick Carlisle were among those who made the 80-mile trip south.
The biggest thing that I love and things that I hear about is that once everyone came to help as far as giving people places to live and the homes that are there, that the West community are already taking care of that. And I can see in the diversity of this community that they're here and they're helping each other in the way that's necessary.
The Saturday began with a tour of the north part of town where the explosion did the most damage. The devastation, a haunting reminder of the events last April and the amount of work still left before the healing can begin.
Seeing it on television is one thing, but seeing it live just really broke my heart. And I mean, it was like a gut punch just to imagine, being here through a blast like that. The houses where you see just roofs collapse, house after house after house, absolutely devastating.
Later that morning, the residents of the town showed up in droves at the Assumption Catholic Church just off I-35.
Go!
Aspiring NBA players participated in a hoops camp courtesy of Texas Legends executive and former coach Malcolm Farmer.
Do you play defense with your knees locked straight up?
Nancy Lieberman gave the campers some encouragement and made a few friends along the way.
I made it off the top of the board. I hit the top, and then it just bounced into the goal.
This guy's been trying to outshoot me here. Ready? Hold this.
And so far, I've been 3 for 4.
3, he's up 3, and I've got 1.
Oh, good.
All right, I'm gonna make him chase that. We want people to know that we care, and it's from our heart, and sometimes sports cures and, solves a lot of things that ail us, and we just want to be part of the solution of, how people are feeling and healing.
Meanwhile, inside the church gymnasium, the dance team provided instruction of its own to the young girls of the town, while the high school dance team received some professional choreography lessons from Mavs dance director Mallory Mills.
So we'll just put you in a mini formation right now.
West on 3 like you mean it. 1, 2, 3. West! Have fun, everybody.
The day culminated with a guns and hoses basketball game, pitting the firemen and paramedics against the police officers of the town, all participants who were first responders. A gentle reminder that the word hero is all too often overused in the world of sports. Lieberman and Rick Carlisle volunteered their time as coaches.
We're all community. We're all part of this, even though we're a little ways up the road. So we're very proud and very pleased to have the opportunity to come down here today. The Mavericks and the Legends to, make things a little bit better for today. And it's going to be a long process to get things back to normal, but it will be done.
Run them and pass them, okay, together. 1, 2, 3, together.
The game was played before a near-capacity crowd. At times, they looked like firemen and cops, athletic, but not quite built for the intricacies that basketball demands. Yet at other times, the game was played at a level exceeding expectations. Our paramedic, Rick Coleman, demonstrating a jump shot that may have even elicited a nod of approval from a champion NBA coach. When it was all said and done, the policemen were crowned champions. But to repeat the cliche of all cliches, there were no losers on this day. This was a day where true heroes were recognized and celebrated. An entire town of heroes. Dana Larson for Mavs Insight.
See? Told you.
Yeah.
Who's your agent?
Yeah. Hold on.
Who's the man?
Hello? Mom, I told you to keep this line open. I'm expecting a very important phone call. All right, Mom. I love you too. No, I love you too.
I'm Real Parrish is still on the board.
Yeah, he's still on the board, Chris, but what I'm hearing from my people is it's because of his attitude. A lot of coaches feel like they just can't work with the guy. They see the talent, but they know the attitude problem is something they don't want.
When I met him, I looked at the tats. He was too sleeved up. Yep. That was going to be a problem. He couldn't work with older veterans.
Right.
They think he's a baller.
Yeah, it also worried me that he couldn't stop cussing unless he was on camera.
Really?
Yeah.
Man. He's going to sit for a while.
Yeah, he will.
See how it turns out.
He will. Well, we'll see if he goes later.
The Phoenix Suns select Alex Len.
Yo,
That's the 5th pick. I'm supposed to be going right
listen,
now.
I'm on the phone with the Mavs right now. Trust me, they want you.
Really?
We're staying home.
The
They
hometown
want you.
team wants me?
Hometown team, baby. We're staying home. Let me take care of this.
I like the sounds of that. Speaking of hometown team, let's go to my hometown homeboy, John Radigan.
Each year, the Dallas Mavericks have an e-cycling day where huge dumpsters are trucked in to haul all of your old electronics. Tons of old computers, televisions, record players get thrown into these dumpsters. But what happens then? Where do they go? Here in Dallas, they go to appropriately named Round 2. You've seen assembly lines before. Well, think of this place as an assembly line with the tape playing backwards.
I think the general awareness of or perception of what people have about the electronics recycling industry is really based on naivety. There's just this black hole that this material goes into, and they have really no understanding of what happens to it.
Items get forklifted into the factory and immediately separated into two groups. One group is for items that still have value. The other group is basically a graveyard. End of life. The items that still have value get put on a conveyor belt where employees work feverishly, smashing, pulling apart, and separating. Looks chaotic, but these people are looking for specific things that indicate whether these disassembled parts can be recycled or just tossed. Why do they work so fast? Well, they get paid by how efficiently they work, so coffee breaks are few and far between.
With down the line, they're trying to reach a goal as far as incentive points, and with us, we're trying to reach a goal as far as productivity of how much we get done. So it makes it a pretty fun environment because it's all fast-paced. Everything just comes. So it's a real good environment.
Items made of steel are the most common of the reusable metals. Circuit boards and motherboards are taken apart and sent to refiners, which extract the precious metals, such as copper. The plastics are regrinded and repalletized, then shipped to a warehouse for reuse. The most common items, lighters and flower pots.
Roberto, you got some hard drives?
Computer hard drives are tested to see if they can still hold data and sold to wholesalers, or reassembled into computers right there at the factory and put on eBay.
It is the future. Recycling is the future. From my perspective, we don't want to throw this away. There is a place for it, and we want it to come here. There's a proper way for us to recycle. There's a proper way for us to determine what the material is for the environment.
So the next time you're thinking about throwing that old computer out, remember where these parts go. Recycling is just round 1. Round 2 takes it from there.
You ready?
Oh yeah.
You ready?
It's that time. I know it.
With the 13th pick in the 2013 NBA Draft, the Dallas Mavericks select Kelly Olynyk from Kamloops, Canada, and Gonzaga University. Kelly is not here to
Yo, you're done. You're fired.
What?
You're out of here. You're done. Yo, I don't need you. No. I'm supposed to go? No.
After everything I've done for you,
Nah, man. You're fired. You're done. I'll do this myself. Let me call Donnie. You out of here. Scram. More Mavs Insider coming up next. Let me holler at Donnie. I'll get this deal done myself.
When we come back, we find out who the Mavs ended up with in the first round, and we get a reaction from Coach Carlisle and Donnie Nelson. Plus,
And I don't want to get into talking about that stuff because I don't want to get fined.
Hopefully in an hour or so we can talk about another potential player that might be able to slide in at the 2 spot.
who is the mystery second rounder that they couldn't talk about? Would it be? Could it be? Yours truly? Find out next on Mavs Insider.
Robert Parrish? Who is Ro Parrish?
Despite not selecting you-know-who, last Thursday's draft was a huge success for the Mavs. They traded down 5 spots, but still got the player that they wanted in Shane Larkin, a J.J. Barea-type jitterbug who can keep defenses off balance.
We've missed the last couple of years the element that Barea brought to the game here. You know, the being able to get to the rim, you know, being able to get it going from 3, the resourcefulness, you know, and some of those kinds of things. And Shane's gonna bring some of those things. He's not gonna be identical to Barea. I don't think that's, you know, he'll be better in some areas. In other areas, he won't be as good, you know. But we like him and you know, feel like he can compete for playing time right away.
They used their second-round pick on Ricky Lidu, a 6'6" shooting guard out of Providence. Of course, NBA draft night is very busy, so you said your cell phone died twice. Donnie Nelson, the general manager, just in case you didn't know.
Yeah, I did. You know, actually, I had in fact, I still got the plug right here. So this, it works. It works. Well, let me just check. Is it? You know, put it in there.
Right there.
Yeah, put it in there and check. All right.
It works. It still works. So, but I mean, very, very, very a lot of activity tonight. You have Dirk in the war room. Talk about how that whole process went tonight.
Oh, it was great. You know, it's always great to have Dirk there for, you know, support and for him to, you know, not only just be a part, but you know, for him to have his input was interesting because he's a great player, but he doesn't have an eye for talent at all.
Okay, well, we talk about eye for talent. We talk about playmakers. That was the word thrown around a lot tonight. Playmakers, difference makers, speed. So you get Shane Larkin in the first round. Talk about how he's going to be able to help the team.
No, Shane's a terrific quarterback that Rick had just a ton of confidence in. We had him ranked very high. We were able to actually trade down and get the guy. We tracked him when we got the guy we wanted. He can break defenses down. He gets into the paint. He creates. He can score, and defensively, he's as quick as a cat. So we're really looking forward to his presence.
Of course. So in other deals that are made by other teams, you have a former point guard that is now coaching a certain team, and he's going to have a former player that was his teammate who he's going to be coaching. Did you happen to see that? What do you think about that?
I think it's terrific. You know, Jason's going to be a great head coach, and just, you know, he's been a quarterback on the floor forever, ever since he was in high school, and so he's got the respect of the players. Now he's loaded, and it's going to be really interesting to see what happens out in the East.
So, of course, the big news tonight, aside from all the trades and everything that was done, of course, I made myself eligible for the NBA draft. I didn't get selected. I wasn't a part of any deal, but I would like to propose to you that I come play in the Summer League.
I tell you what, we'll pick you with the 61st pick in the NBA draft. In fact, we got your hat right here.
Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen.
There it is.
The latest Maverick, pick number 61. We're excited.
Ro Parrish, I'm ready, very, very excited. Where can I sign my deal?
Well, Dirk's right over there, so you can have a word with him, and I'm sure he'll put in a good word for Mark Cuban, and we'll all be happy.
And there it is. Donnie Nelson here, draft night, Mavs Insider.
Check out Insider later this month as we come to you from Dirk's Celebrity Baseball Game. We'll give you the first look at the newest members of the Dallas Mavs dance team, plus a special feature on a former player who went from fighting for a roster spot to fighting for his life. Mavs Insider later this month. So that completes our NBA draft coverage, and you heard it from the man himself. I am officially the 61st pick, aka Mr. Irrelevant, and you will see me in Las Vegas at the Mavs Summer League. I guess that means the show is over. So with all that being said, I'm Ro Parrish for Mavs Insider. Make sure you check us out every single week, and yeah, just look for me Summer League. I'm out of here. See you.